So in 2024, I think it's going to be kind of hard for the right to have a red wave. I really do. Um, I don't think that the left is going to have an economic meltdown until after that. I just don't see it. I think they're going to do whatever it takes to avoid an economic meltdown. I just don't see major disruption. And I could be wrong. There's so many people that have been saying we're going into recession, we're this and that, we're this and that. We're going to go Mad Max style, but you hear it all the time, man, and I'm just tired of hearing about that shit because it hasn't happened. If it happens, it happens. Um, I just don't see it happen. I think that they're going to do whatever it takes to avoid that type of situation until after the election. And after that election happens and they have another blue wave, which I think is probably going to happen, and I'm going to explain why I think that, um, then the gloves are off. They're going to do whatever they want. Um, I'm going to go back a little bit. All I hear about is this central bank currency. I've been hearing about it for years now, and I haven't seen it come out yet. And it makes me wonder if they have some of the smartest people that can create systems, and they already have these blockchains that have been created since 2008. Why haven't they created it yet? Why is it not out yet? Why isn't it implemented? I'm not saying it's not going to come. I'm just saying I'm just tired of hearing about it. Until I see it come, then I'll worry about it. And I'm not even that worried about it. I'll just have to adapt to whatever it is. I mean, like I said before, they can shut my bank account down anytime they want when they're investigating me. They've done it to the truckers in Canada. If you think that the government can't shut down my bank account or your bank account, you're crazy. That's why I think it's good to have alternate sources like physical gold and physical silver, because if they do that to me, shut it down so I can't pay my bills no more. Well, all right. Well, I can still get money. I can go sell my gold and silver and get cash if I need to, so I can transact if need be. Same with baseball cards. But anyway, this is why I think there's going to be a blue wave. I think I think that Republicans and people on the right, I think that some of them are in tune with what's happening now, like MAGA, but a lot of these people are old and they're out of touch with reality. A lot of these people have a lot of money and they don't know what it's like for young people coming up. I always hear from people on the right, oh, you need to have kids, you need to have kids, but like, you're telling these young people to have kids and you don't have any understanding of the economic hardship that these people are going through. How hard it is to succeed nowadays, to pay your bills. Like, you have to have a car, and cars are a huge responsibility. And with every year that passes, it just becomes harder and harder. You need two incomes. And they don't understand that this is not the best economy or best situation to raise kids. You need two incomes to survive in this society. When you have a family, it is extremely hard. Now you can go minimalistic and live in a really bad part of town and or whatever. And people don't want to live in a high crime area. You want to raise your kid in a place that you don't have to worry about their window being shot up, or when they go outside you have to worry about them. You want to live in a nice peaceful neighborhood. Well, that costs money, and Um, I mean, the people on the right aren't really coming with solutions. They're not. They're not saying there's some, but large amounts of these people aren't saying like we should have communities and support each other and have homeschool. And if you have to work, maybe we can switch off the homeschooling and create situations like this. So, maybe I homeschool your kids and my kid one day, and then you do it, and then we just switch back and forth so I can go to work or whatever. There's nothing like this happening. They want to. There's some, like they want like the whole abortion thing is a huge topic. It's kind of like, man, it's just like it's cool. Like my view on it is like it should just be rare. It should be rare. People should just be practicing safe sex if they're gonna have it, and avoid that type of situation. But they don't promote that. Like that kind of goes against the religion. Um, and the young people want to do that, and they've always done that. They've always done that. They've always had kids young or whatever. It's just kind of like human nature. So, um, the boomers, and I'm just like, okay, why I like Trump is because I think if he gets elected, he's gonna go in there and just like, he's got the gloves off. He's gonna be nailing people right and left. He's gonna be a complete rebel. He's gonna rebel against the establishment. That's why I like him. Besides that, he's old as hell, man. I'm just tired of old people being in there. They're not doing anything. They're out of touch with the youth. And why, like the boomers, this is the boomers. These are the people who were the hippies back in the 60s. And then they conformed and sold out. And they're hard workers, man. They're really hard workers. But they went completely all in and working and keeping up with the Joneses and spoiling their kids, um and instead of spending time with their kids and trying to raise their kids to be emotionally stable and having less abandonment issues, instead of just like focusing on a career and pawning them off on like preschool or a daycare. They should have stayed home and took care of the kid. Like they bought them. They try to buy their love. I mean, that really turned out well for our society. And then they sit here and complain that young people are lazy. Well, who the fuck made them like this? Why are they lazy? Why don't they want to work? Who did this? Well, yeah, you're a hard worker, but you know, you did everything for them. You didn't teach them nothing at all. You bought their love. And that's why when you get to be old, they're not going to give a shit about you. Um, you didn't develop some type of emotional attachment to them or them for them to you. Um, so the boomers turned more right leaning because they actually had skin in the game when it comes to working hard, and they want to keep their hard work for sure. But when these people start retiring, they're gonna turn leftist and like socialist ideas when it comes to the welfare state, Social Security. And what they don't understand is like they're gonna grasp onto welfare because this is what they've been looking forward to their whole life. Oh, I've been paying into it like it's some type of retirement fund. No, it's a welfare state. And the only reason you can get Social Security is if workers pay into it. That is it. That's it. And it is going to run out in 2033, 2034. That's when it's supposed to be done. Um, I'm hearing Medicaid is going to be done before that. We can't sustain this. You don't have people to go into the workforce to replace the boomers. And they don't understand this. And like I said, they're going to turn socialist. Um, and it's probably going to be a big thing coming up in 2024. The Democrats are really going to hammer home that the Republicans are already starting a little bit. That Republicans are going to take their Social Security away. And you're going to see a lot of boomers vote to keep their Social Security, and so they will vote for whoever the left puts up there. That's my prediction. And I think that you're probably going to see another blue wave, which is further destruction of our country. It's unsustainable. Whatever the left pushes out here is unsustainable long term. If we were going to keep this fiat currency, if we're going to try to keep this system, which is not sustainable, when you see threats of BRICS, they're forming, the world is forming its own currency for everyone to back their currency on, which is backed by actual things other than guns and our economy. And yeah, I mean, America has a lot of advantages when it comes to like our buying power, being able to buy things, um, military, and there's other strategies as well, political security, stuff like that. Well, you can see that our army, well, you can see our military dying down. People aren't wanting to join the military. Why? Why don't they want to join the military? I wonder if it has anything to do with 2021, when a certain somebody on the left has said that all of them, all the soldiers got to take something in 2021. I wonder if it has anything to do with that. I mean, that's a big reason why I tell my kids not to join the military. I think there's a lot of, besides the fact that we're on the brink of World War III, and I felt if Trump would have, if Trump was still in there right now, I would feel a lot more at ease telling my kids to join the military. And this is why I disagree with Aaron Clarey. I'm not gonna agree with everything. This is what should show people that I'm not in a cult. I can think for myself. Now he tells a lot of young people to go into the military, which it does provide. You can get skills, you can get advantages. It teaches you how to work hard. It reforms you to be more disciplined. There's a lot of good things that the military does provide. But our current military provides propaganda, indoctrination, and the threat of putting yourself on the front lines of a conflict that only benefits corporations or politicians' pockets. Um, it doesn't. It's not really defending our freedom, and that's why people used to sign up. People signed up 9/11 in droves because they thought that there was a threat. There's a big threat, and there was. People signed up in World War II because there was a big threat. Now, the biggest threat is our own government on us. Our own government oppressing us, trying to take our guns, trying to take our rights more and more. The Restriction Act, trying to surveillance us more. They're oppressing us. So why would you want to fight for this government, this federal government, over bloated, needs to be cut in so many different ways. So many different programs need to be cut back or eliminated altogether. But yeah, you're gonna see the boomers are complete. There's some, I mean, that aren't out of touch. Obviously, you can't say all. When I say stuff, I don't think every single body, but it's just like the general understanding or general population of people. You sit here like, this is what they think. They're out of touch. They really don't follow things that much. They live in some type of different fantasy reality. And these people are like, I mean, if you ever look at their memes on Facebook, they always put, "Oh, do you remember what this was?" Or kids nowadays don't know what it's like to come inside dark out, or when the lights turn on, or the street lights turn on. Like this type of stuff is like they don't understand how things change, and they don't understand like the effect that they've actually had on their own kids on and this generation. Um, these people are the generation that started broken homes in mass. They did it. They were immature. They created weak a weak society. They push feminism. They push women out of the home. They're the ones that started demonizing women that actually want to stay home and take care of their family. Um, there's so much cancerous things from these people, and I'm not just gonna hate on boomers. I mean, every generation has its issues. Um, Nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, but I'm saying like they're probably going to vote blue coming up. They're probably, and I'm not gonna say all, but I'm just saying you're gonna see a lot of boomers sell out, and they're going to vote for communism. They're gonna vote for socialism. Continue to to socialize things even more. Like if I had a choice right now, I'd just opt out of Social Security because I could find better things to do with my money than put it in Social Security. Because especially knowing that I'm not gonna get it, um, and it's really unsustainable. If we were gonna take our medicine, first thing that needs to stop is the excess spending. The government has been so undisciplined and irresponsible. Could you imagine on the world stage seeing our government push woke agenda crap on pushing our cancerous culture onto other countries and spend on frivolous crap and never ending wars? We're a joke. I mean, that's what America's become, has become a huge joke. I mean, and that's what I would be looking at. I live here and I see that it's become a joke, our federal government. So it's just, um, yeah, we have had this power. America had this power, and we've completely just, instead of being a good, strong nation, good, strong leader, and example to the world, we just show how corrupt we are. And I say we, as I say, is the federal government. Um, God, that's so annoying. But whatever. It makes me lose my train of thought. um, but yeah, I think the boomers are going to vote left coming up. I really do. I think that it's going to further demise and accelerate things even quicker. And my solution is making the red states redder, and pushing out people who don't like those type of policies, making them even stronger, and just rallying around the Constitution. That's what these red states need to do, um, and let these blue states just deteriorate, because these blue states are pretty much, like I said, to me, these blue states are pretty much a different country. I don't relate to these people on the left at all. I don't even look at them as Americans. I look at them as communists. Um, and I just, I don't see, uh, I don't see us getting along. There will be some type of national divorce. I think there's going to be some type. We are in a cold civil war. I mean, hopefully it doesn't break out into violence, but it's probably going to happen. Um, because if you look at Nashville and you see what's happening in Nashville, and you see like the left coming in there trying to tell a red state how to put their laws in, like Kamala Harris, like get the fuck out of there. Oh, another thing is like when they went to Uganda, like I think Uganda just banned something to do with homosexuals. But you can see America going in there, um, and I haven't researched it, but I can see like it seemed like, okay, I think what I seen was like her having some type of press conference, and it sounds like I think that America's gonna invest in them. Hopefully, they'll sell out their ideas, their beliefs, and bring in woke, um, and um, because they keep trying to push this crap on everybody else. And if you're Uganda, and I'm not too sure about their economics, obviously they're not some type of a economic powerhouse. But if you have somebody offering you a lot of money, is going to make you economically prosperous, and you don't think long term, you just think right now. Like if somebody, okay, since I'm an independent artist and I do everything myself and I have complete control over all my music and I can create whatever the fuck I want. Well, what happens if some huge record company sees a music video I just created and they're like, you know what? We're gonna give you. I mean, obviously, I don't have the reach. I mean, if I had 100,000 followers or subscribers, then this would be more realistic. But if they were to come to somebody like me and be like, "Hey, listen, we obviously know we can see your talent, or we can see a glimmer of talent. We want you to work with these really good people, you know, making music videos, and we can make it so like your stuff sounds good, like really really good. But you have to push this narrative, and you're gonna get paid pretty solid. You know, like I think I made about $37,000 last year. Well, if they was to give me $1 million, right, for this year, I mean, most people would jump at that chance and be like, okay, okay, I don't have to work my job no more. I can focus on my hobby. Um, I just have to push what they want me to push. It sounds tempting, and that's kind of seems like what Uganda, what they're doing to like Uganda. And like I said, I'm kind of ignorant to this because I don't. I just I looked at things real quick. I mean, there's so much going on. It's hard to like focus on everything, but um, that's what it kind of seems like they're doing, and the left is trying to infiltrate red states and trying to push their agenda. Well, they're trying to take our guns, man. That's what they're trying to do. They want the first they're coming after AR-15. They say assault weapons. This is their thing is assault weapons, but anything's an assault weapon. And then they say assault rifles, and it's like those are already banned. So they take the AR-15 first, and then they'll come after the handguns next, and then they're going to eliminate all guns from us. That's their goal, because if they take our guns or ban guns and ignore our constitutional rights, um, we can't defend ourselves. Much like what happened to the Jewish people in Germany in the 1930s. They can do whatever they want to us, and we can't have any type of say so. We have to go along with it or face the consequences. That's why you see this narrative coming after the guns. Um, that's what I see. I don't just look at right now. I look at potentially what could happen. Um, and they use people's emotions. Oh, guns are the number one killer of kids, but then they ignore like other things when it comes to like suicides and stuff like that, or like a lot of these killings are done in actually they're blue cities, um, in bad areas, which they're not doing anything to revitalize. They're not doing anything to try to help the situation. Trying to, they completely ignore that. And another thing they completely ignore is the number one and two killers of Americans is um, heart disease is number one and cancer is number two, and obesity is highly connected with both, but they don't care about that. They never say nothing about that. And in fact, they're pushing body positivity, which, okay, okay. I mean, these are big stats. I mean, when you have over a half of, when you combine them both and you have 1 million people dying each year from these two diseases, and nobody's addressing, I never hear anybody addressing this problem. They never address, okay, these people are dying, like a massive, 1 million people, over 1 million people in American population are dying each year from heart disease and cancer. um, Insurance is high. We have a strain on our healthcare system causing prices to go up because there's so many people that need medical help because they have unhealthy lifestyles. They don't eat well, they don't exercise, they might drink a lot. And I'm thinking too, for me, like, finally the right is waking up to boycotts because of beer. Really, it's just kind of like weird to me that, you know, out of all the times to finally start organizing boycotts, you're gonna do it over beer. Like, that's it. My unhealthy choices when it comes, like if you want to drink, that's cool. Me, I'll have a drink like every now and then. If I was to go on a date, I wouldn't mind having an adult beverage. I don't mind having an adult beverage or two going camping. Um, or I kind of like to have some about adult beverages around Christmas. But if you're drinking every single day, like that's so unhealthy, and a lot of people do. A lot of people they're alcoholics, And I remember growing up, a lot of people were like kind of they bragged about being alcoholics, like, oh, I can tolerate this much. Like, okay, man, you're so cool, you can drink a ton, you can go ahead and push back a 30 pack of beers. You're cool, dude. I mean, you have to drink that every day because your tolerance is so high, and if you was to quit cold turkey, you're gonna die. That's not it's just the mindset of these people. um Yeah, I just think that it's um so dumb, so dumb. But it is what it is, and we're going to see. Um, I want to see what's gonna happen, and I'm just really tired of listening to the fear stuff. It's really old. Um, it's good to be prepared, but I'm just tired of hearing like, oh, the end is nigh all the fucking time. And a lot of these channels, you have to be careful. Like, all they do is push negativity nonstop, and it's good to have an understanding of what's happening, what could possibly happen. But when they continue to say all the time, and yes, we are living under hard times, but I just don't think we're just gonna have. I'm not saying we won't go through a depression or a recession. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I just don't think we're just gonna go to Mad Max. I just don't. And this is what they talk about, and it's good to be prepared if you want to be prepared for that. But I just think we're just gonna continue our lifestyles. It's gonna keep going down slowly. Um, Quality of lifestyle is gonna keep going down. But if the left has complete control over everything politically, they're gonna push whatever the hell they want, and it's going to be real, real hard. And you could see it decline real quick at that point. Um, America's like, America can't decide what they want. They'll vote conservative right here, and then they'll vote left over there. And I understand, like, you need balance, but it kind of seems like things are more uneven towards the left when it comes to universities, mainstream media, government. And if you want to balance things, you need to vote to the right for right now. That's how you balance things. Um, but, you know, whatever.